Picture this: Georgia Tech's perfect season hanging by a thread, only to be dashed in a high-stakes showdown. That's the dramatic forecast from Fox Sports analyst Joel Klatt, who boldly crowns Miami as the victor in the ACC Championship clash. If you're new to college football, the ACC Championship isn't just any game. It's the conference's big finale that often decides playoff spots. And Klatt's prediction has fans buzzing with excitement and debate. In his most recent college football playoff outlook, which you can dive into here, https://Klatt releases polarizing college football playoff 12-team field prediction entering November. Klatt envisions the Miami Hurricanes, https://teams/Miami Hurricanes, snagging the number 1-5 seed in the expanded 12-team playoff field, while the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets heartbreakingly fall short of making the cut altogether. For beginners, the playoff seeding determines who gets byes or easier paths to the national title, so this is huge for Miami's postseason dreams. Klatt paints a vivid picture of how this unfolds. Miami powers through their remaining games without a stumble, while Georgia Tech stumbles in their heated rivalry matchup against Georgia to close out the regular season. That sets the stage for an epic ACC title game between two powerhouse 11-1 squads. Yet, in Klatt's view, the Hurricanes pull ahead and claim the crown, a scenario that feels both thrilling and gut-wrenching depending on your team loyalty. But here's where it gets controversial. Georgia Tech enters November undefeated, with their biggest challenge outside the ACC being that nail-biter against Georgia at season's end. As Klatt shared on his podcast, https://www.youtube.com/watch VLGSUD4. Let's play this out. Suppose Georgia edges them out. The Jackets finish 11-1 overall, but stay perfect in conference play, earning a spot in the championship. Now, picture the chaos. Other teams could sneak in too, like a surprise run from Virginia. He pauses to note Virginia's solid one-loss record, but flags their quirky schedule. Think uneven opponents and timing that might trip them up, which he'll unpack more later. For context, scheduling quirks can make or break a team's resume in the eyes of selection committees, often sparking endless debates among fans. That said, Klatt believes Miami, if they stay on their winning streak, will be the one facing Georgia Tech in that title tilt, both at 11-1. I see the Hurricanes as the stronger side overall, he adds confidently. They take the ACC Championship at 12-1, leaving Georgia Tech at 11-2 and without the title. And this is the part most people miss. Even with those losses only to a powerhouse like Georgia and in the conference finale, Georgia Tech gets shut out of the playoff in Klatt's model. A tough pill that underscores how razor-thin these decisions can be. To give you a clearer roadmap, Miami's path ahead looks challenging but navigable. They'll travel to face SMU, host Syracuse and NC State, then hit the road against Virginia Tech and Pitt. Each of these could test their mettle. For instance, Pitt's always a gritty opponent at home. Georgia Tech, meanwhile, has a gauntlet of their own. Away games at NC State and Boston College, a home clash with Pitt, and that do-or-die finale versus Georgia. Beating Georgia would be legendary, but as Klatt suggests, it might not be enough to leapfrog Miami. Don't count out the underdogs, though. Teams like Virginia and Louisville, both sitting with just one ACC defeat, could shake things up dramatically. Virginia's wonky schedule might include mismatched games that inflate or deflate their strength of schedule, a key metric for playoff hopefuls. Louisville could surge if they capitalize on easier foes. Still, the consensus among experts leans toward Miami or Georgia Tech hoisting the ACC trophy. Sign up for the daily On3 newsletter to catch these updates fresh every morning in your inbox. By clicking subscribe to newsletter, you agree to On3's privacy notice, https://pack2.com/privacy policy, terms, https://bestpack2.com/terms of service, and how they'll handle your info. No matter how the chips fall, the real twist in Klatt's tale is Georgia Tech's exclusion from the playoff despite a resume that screams contender. Losses only to an elite non-conference foe and in the title game. Is this a fair shake? Or does it expose flaws in the selection process? It's a harsh reality in his projections, with everything on the line as November heats up. What do you think? Does Miami deserve the nod over Georgia Tech, or could the Jackets defy the odds and crash the playoff party? Drop your hot takes in the comments below. I'd love to hear if you're Team Klatt or ready to argue otherwise.